and the biggest mistake that I see people making. Welcome back, my awesome chicken friends. My name is Jordan, and today we are answering questions from our chickens in hopes that you can use their questions and what they are looking for to help you further your chicken hobby. So let's get started in the first question coming from our chickens. Their question was, is it worth buying fertilized chicken eggs? I don't have any broody chickens, and although I am incredibly curious about hatching and raising chicks myself, I fear I'm not attentive or knowledgeable enough to do so. My friend also warned me that hatch rates are low, and I know that shipping and handling could easily destroy them during transport. But I feel that buying eggs is the only way I'll manage to get the chickens I want without spending a small fortune. And even shipping live chicks can end badly due to how easily they can become ill. Has anyone else dealt with shipping fertilized eggs before? Is it difficult to hatch them? Okay, so this is a great question. So going back to whether it was hard to hatch our chicken. First, we need to have an incubator. So what I would suggest most people start with is a still air incubator. It's decently cheap. You can get them from many feed stores and off the internet. And if you had a still air incubator with a good thermometer and a good hydrometer, then you'd probably be set to start hatching chicken eggs. So as far as the safety of shipping chicks compared to shipping eggs, I know a lot of breeders are going to find it easier to ship fertilized eggs than it is to ship chicks. And so you're right. You might just find that you have to buy fertilized eggs to get the breeds that you want. Whether you're shipping fertilized eggs or you're shipping chicks, nowadays with the post office system, they're pretty much good and you don't see a whole lot of risk in that. Hatch rate's really going to depend on the age of the eggs, when they're collected compared to when you're putting them in the incubator, and actually the chickens themselves, what their fertility rate is, and then also finalized on how well your skill set is on taking and using an incubator. So that's a great question, and honestly, it's one that comes up a lot. Now, speaking of curiosity and learning as you go, our next question digs into something that everyone that hatches eggs wonders about, and it's a very interesting topic. So question number 2 comes from you/insane chicken girl on r/chicken. How often and how long do you candle eggs? I'm looking to hatch some eggs in the near future. Chicken math has really gotten into me, which I feel that after my first mail order batch. And I'm in the early stages of researching everything I need to know. But one thing I've had a hard time finding is how often, how long, and how to candle eggs safely. From what I've read, even opening the incubator for a second can throw off the incubating process by messing up the temperature and humidity, and that could kill the chicks inside. So my question is, how am I supposed to candle them without chilling them too much? How long should the candling be limited to prevent chilling, and how often should it be done? Is moving them too much in order to candle them not good for them? I just don't want my curiosity of seeing the embryo grow be the reason one dies. Okay, handling eggs is awesome. If you don't know what that is the process of being able to see the inside of the egg. So we're going to take a flashlight with the bottom side of the egg slightly tilted, and it's going to allow us to see the inside of the egg. When should we do this? You can do this really anytime before day 18. At day 18 to day 21 when they're hatching, that is like lockdown, you can't get in the incubator. But there are different times which you'll see different things. So day 7 is really when you're going to be able to see the embryo growth. This is going to be a spot inside the egg with spider veins coming out of it. It is pretty interesting to see. If you have a ring around the inside, a faint ring, or you don't see anything, unfortunately, that's not a viable egg. And then day 14 comes, and you're really able to see that big growth of the chick. Because at day 14, that chick has made it past halfway of hatching. At day 18, we're going to see the egg pretty much be all dark because that chick is nearly full grown. Now, one tip that I will give you. If you're not really caring what breed it is, you just want some chickens. Definitely go for white egg layers your first time around. Because with white eggs, you're going to be able to see the inside of the egg a lot easier than if it was a brown egg. As far as how much time and having to limit the time that you're spending on actually looking on the inside of the egg, I wouldn't be too worried about the incubator being opened for that amount of time, and so you'll be fine. Candling eggs can be exciting, but it's also a place where people sometimes make mistake without meaning to. Which brings us to our final question. What are the common mistakes when hatching your own eggs? I've been raising chickens for a couple years now, and as I'm going to be needing to replace my current flock, I'd like to not have to buy new chicks. I was thinking of hatching my own chicks, but was wondering what are some mistakes I should be careful to avoid making. So really, 3 different things that I see people making a big mistake on. The first one is that they think that if they have a male chicken and a female chicken together in a pen, that'll instantly equal a chick being hatched out of an egg. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. The second mistake that I sometimes see people doing is going and not realizing that you can candle eggs to actually see and check that the chicken's eggs are fertile. And so people are going and they're putting all their eggs in the incubator and waiting until day 21 to actually see if the eggs are fertile or not. And then when they're not hatching on day 21, because unfortunately some of them are not fertile, they're leaving them in longer and longer. If we leave our eggs in too long, they can actually explode and cause a huge mess. And 3, the most common and the biggest mistake that I see people making is that people are actually not using a thermometer and a hydrometer that is accurate. And so they're not getting a true read on how warm that chicken incubator actually is or how much humidity it actually has. I appreciate the question. There is nothing more enjoyable than being able to see the chickens hatch out of eggs that you have been able to help produce.